Your father is in the middle of a contraction when you arrive. You feel the pressure, first a squeeze, then a release, and then cold water everywhere. You're out. You're barely a millimeter long, still curled from 6 weeks inside a pouch, and the ocean is enormous and moving in every direction at once. Around you, 2,000 siblings are firing out of the same hole in your father's belly, one after another, tumbling into the current, already drifting apart. You straighten, you start to swim. Your dorsal fin, a single tiny fin on your back, beats 60 times per second and moves you forward at roughly the speed of a slow walk. Everything in this ocean is faster than you. Behind you, your father stops contracting. The pouch empties. He releases the seagrass he's been gripping with his tail, turns, and begins searching for a new mate. He will be pregnant again within hours. You've been alive for 30 seconds. You're alone, and of the 2,000 born today alongside you, only 1 or 2 will reach adulthood. The rest will be gone within days, taken by cold, current, predators, or simply the mathematics of being a millimeter long in an open ocean. The strange thing about seahorses is that the survival rate isn't even the worst part of the story. The worst part comes at the very end, on the single best day of your life, the day everything you were built for finally works. What gets you then won't be a predator, and it won't be the cold. It'll be the one thing you couldn't see coming because it was already done before your story even started. Keep watching. You've been in the open water for 3 days when a shrimp drifts past your face. You snap, your mouth, a rigid tube with no teeth, no jaw, just suction closes on empty water. The shrimp is already half a meter away. You can track it with your left eye while your right eye watches something else entirely, each eye moving independently. But tracking and speed are different problems. You move at roughly the pace of a walking human. The shrimp does not. You try again with a smaller one. Miss. Again. Miss. On the 7th attempt, you get it. The suction fires fast enough, the shrimp close enough, it disappears down the tube hole. You have no stomach to store it in, so it passes through within minutes. You're already hungry again. This is the central problem of your existence. You need to eat up to 3,000 tiny prey per day just to survive. You are the slowest fish in the ocean. You cannot chase anything, so you stop moving entirely. You're 1.5 weeks old. You find a patch of seagrass, wrap your tail around a stem, and go still. Your skin starts shifting yellows, greens, browns, matching the leaves around you, the texture changing until you look less like a fish and more like part of the plant. A larger fish cruises past at eye level. Its gaze passes over you without stopping. You wait. The current brings prey to you. You vacuum it up, silent, invisible, motionless. It takes 3 days to figure this out. Once you do, your survival rate triples. You've solved the equation. You cannot be the fastest thing in the water, so you become part of the water. First, win. You're 3 weeks old, anchored to your seagrass when the pull starts. At first, it's just a stronger current, the stems bending sideways, your tail tightening its grip. Then a surge rolls through, and the seagrass tears free from the sand beneath you. You're spinning in open water, no grip, no camouflage, no cover. Your fin is already beating. There's nothing else to do. Seahorses die in storms not because predators find them, though that happens, but because they cannot stop swimming. Your dorsal fin runs at full speed or you sink. There is no coasting, no resting mid-water. Every second you are not anchored to something. You are burning fuel you cannot replace, in conditions that make finding food nearly impossible. The current pushes you sideways. You fight it. You look for anything to grip, a rock, a shell, a piece of debris, and find nothing. Your fin keeps beating. The water churns around you. Then your tail finds something, a fragment of broken shell half buried in the sand below. You wrap tight around it and hold. The storm passes over the next few hours. When the water settles, you're in a different part of the ocean floor entirely, far from your original grass. Thinner, exhausted, but alive. You find new seagrass nearby. You anchor. You go still. You've survived something that kills most of your siblings. And something else has started a new signal drifting through the water. A color pulse you haven't felt before. The pulse comes through the water like a vibration you feel in your skin. Yellow, shifting, brightening, moving in a slow rhythm, 3 meters to your left. Your own body responds before you understand it. Your skin flushes the same yellow, pulses back, a signal you've never sent before. You don't know what you're doing, your body does. She's been watching you for days. What follows is 12 days of the most careful thing you will ever do. Every morning, she appears near your seagrass, and you swim beside her, matching her pace, mirroring her colors, drifting upward in slow spirals when she rises, gripping her tail with yours in the shallower water near dawn. It looks like something tender. What it actually is, she's testing whether you're consistent, whether your colors are bright enough to mean you're healthy, whether you show up every morning. On the 12th day, she presses against you and her ovipositor finds the opening of your pouch. 500 eggs transfer in a slow pulse. You feel each one as a small pressure, settling, embedding into the tissue inside. Then she pulls back. She leaves to feed. Your pouch is full. Your body is already changing, producing nutrients from your own reserves to feed what's growing inside you. You still need 3,000 prey per day to survive. Now you need more than that. You anchor to your seagrass and you wait. 6 weeks later, your body tells you it's time. You grip the seagrass tighter than you ever have. The first contraction comes a full body clench, your tail pulling hard against the stem, your pouch pressing outward, then it releases, then another. Seahorse fathers in labor strain for up to 12 hours, pausing between contractions, visible effort in every muscle. You bend forward, you straighten. Bend and straighten. They come out one at a time, then in pairs, then in a sudden rush, a cloud of miniature seahorses, each one already swimming, already drifting, scattering into the water in every direction. You watch them go. Most will be dead within 48 hours. You know this the way you know how to swim, not as a thought, just as a fact your body carries. The ocean will take them. It takes almost all of them. But your body gave them everything it had, and that is all it has ever been able to do. Your pouch deflates, you catch your breath, your mate finds you the next morning, more eggs, you do it again, you do it for years, season after season, thousands of offspring scattered into the water. Almost all of them gone before they're old enough to anchor themselves to anything. And then one morning, you're hunting near a new patch of seagrass when you notice a shape 3 meters away. Small, anchored. The camouflage isn't perfect. The color slightly off for the plant, the stillness slightly too deliberate, the way a young animal holds itself when it's still learning. But the posture is right. The tail grip is right. It's one of yours. Grown, alive, anchored, and hunting. The same way you are. You drift past without stopping. Seahorses don't recognize their offspring. There's no reunion, no signal, just two animals near the same grass doing the same thing. But something worked. Something you made is still here. This is the highest point your life reaches. Hold it for a second, because your mate doesn't come back the next morning. You color change at dawn. The yellow pulse, slow and rhythmic, the same signal that started everything. You send it toward the place she usually comes from. The water is still. You wait. Nothing. You send it again at dusk. Again the next morning. Again the morning after that. Seahorses that lose a mate change their behavior in ways that are hard to explain by pure biology. They stay in their spot. They stop moving to find food. They keep performing the courtship displays, the color pulses, the spiral rises at dawn as if repetition will produce the response that stopped coming. Some of them do this until they starve. Not because there's no food within range, because their body stops prioritizing finding it. This is the promise from the beginning. Not a predator, not a storm. You survived both of those. The thing that gets you is the space where something used to be a signal you keep sending into water that doesn't answer. Your body doesn't know how to stop. You color change at dawn on the 6th day. On the 7th day, something grabs your tail. Not a predator, something solid and mechanical. A net dragged along the ocean floor by a trawler somewhere above the surface. It pulls you free of the seagrass and rolls you through the water with coral debris and small fish and shell fragments. Your camouflage is useless. Your speed is useless. There is nothing here to grip. 40 million seahorses are caught as bycatch every year. Another 150 million are dried and sold traditional medicine, souvenirs, aquarium, tanks. In the past 30 years, some seahorse populations have dropped by 90%. You are pulled upward. The water gets warmer, then bright enough to hurt. Then you break the surface into air that doesn't work, cold, and loud into a world built entirely for things that aren't you. And then you are still. Life as a seahorse might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.